to the Keith Noble Show, brought to you by Auto Chicks and the Nobles Financial Network. Find them both on Facebook. So, here we are. AP, ABC, other media have called the election for Biden. There are still legal challenges out for Trump. So what are Trump's chances in these legal challenges? Well, pretty close to zero. It wouldn't be impossible, but it would be unprecedented for Trump to succeed in these legal challenges. So let's talk about why. Because when you talk about voter fraud, you're talking about three cascading questions. First question is there voter fraud? Second question is, did it affect the outcome? The third question is there a plausible, effective remedy to it? Well, in the case of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, we ask that question, is there voter fraud? Yes, there is. That's pretty obvious. You can see it from the statistical analysis, and you can see it from the behavior, in that these people, certainly in Pennsylvania and Michigan, committed other crimes to cover up voter fraud. So why would you commit other crimes to cover up a crime you didn't already commit? Of course they committed voter fraud. That's gone on. Now, did it sway the election? Did it flip this election from Trump to Biden? Well, that would require an investigation, some quantification. I suspect it probably did, but we wouldn't know without some actual investigation into this. So the third question is the real kicker, though, the one that almost always stops voter fraud accusations. What's the viable, plausible remedy? And that's the problem here, and that's why Trump will almost certainly fail in his quest to address this legally as far as the election goes. So let me give you an example of what happened in Pennsylvania. There was a state court order to segregate certain ballots that were highly susceptible to fraud. And then there was a federal court order to segregate those same ballots because they were highly susceptible to fraud. The Secretary of State in the state of Pennsylvania willfully, deliberately ignored both those court orders. Those ballots were removed from their envelopes and they were mixed together and counted together. So once a ballot is removed from its envelope, it's impossible to trace that ballot. We have a secret ballot system. Once that ballot's out there, it's just out there. Nobody knows whose it was, where it came from, what the provenance was of that ballot. Well, the Secretary of State was ordered by both state and federal courts to segregate these ballots. She failed to do so intentionally. And now the fraudulent ballots and the legitimate ballots are all mixed together, and nobody knows which are which. And of course, that stops the fraud prosecution, fraud actions of the court in its steps. Because if you can't know which ballot is fraudulent, which one is legitimate, there's really nothing you can do to remedy this. Now, some people you see on social media are saying, well, we'll have a new election. Well, this is the United States. We don't have new elections. We have an election day, not election days. The election day is set by code, by law, and that's the day we vote. And we don't have do-overs here. So even if there's fraud, which there certainly is, even if we can prove that it swayed the election, and I strongly suspect, there will be a preponderance of evidence to show it swayed the election, at least in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. There's probably nothing can be done about it because there's no plausible, viable remedy to it. So these outcomes will probably stand. Now, it's not impossible that Trump could prevail here, but it would be unprecedented. So if you're hoping on that, I don't want to dash your hopes, but I don't want you clinging to something that's probably unrealistic either. So this is where we're at. These legal challenges will go forward. The important thing here is, regardless of who wins the election or not, we have to value fair and honest elections. Doesn't matter if you love Trump, if you hate Trump. We have to value fair and honest elections. And that's what's at stake here. So even if Trump loses, we must continue the battle for fair and honest elections in this country. So thank you for joining us today. The Keith Noble Show. Look up Auto Chicks, the Nobles Financial Network on Facebook. Please like, share this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Invite your friends to subscribe to the channel. And look at my book on Amazon, Our Dogs Did Not Bark, A Politically Incorrect Dystopian Tale. If you really want to know what progressive government looks like, what implementing progressive ideas looks like, go read my book. It'll scare the hell out of you. So, thank you all, and I'll see you again.